welcome to this lava base tutorial. I'm going to start off with this base here. If you depend on the size, the bigger the better really in terms of making a nice detailed flow. I've got some products here I like using. I'm not affiliated with any of them, they're just the things that I like to use. Now to start off with, whenever you're doing lava, it's either going to be in pools or streams going across the base. So you need to build up some sort of stone effect around the outside. One of the easiest ways is to use corkboard, very thin, easy to glue, cheap. You want to build up the stones, and you can use actual stones, but using this technique I'll show you how you can build it up. So it doesn't really matter on the size of them. It's dead easy to break and rebuild, and you want to create some sort of design on here, and then do maybe multiple levels. So I can use some of the bits there, maybe get some more. You can build up multiple levels onto that. You want to check that your model can stand. So if you're doing it with the lava going between the legs, obviously you want to make sure that the flat bits are available on either side, otherwise you can have some interesting gluing techniques. So what I would do after that stage is add a bit of glue around the edges, around the sides of where you'll get the lava on the top, and then just use some sand and stone mix. Now I've got this arid ready base mix here, again not affiliated, just because I like the stuff, and it's quite a nice mix of sand and small stones, so you can spread that on there, and that creates some uneven points on the base so that it doesn't just look like cork stuck to the base. And for those who are old enough to remember Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. And what I've done with this is, again, is just bits of cork built up, and I've stuck on, right, see the level there, and I've glued around the edges, across a bit of the sides and stuff like that, and then I've just primed it black, just all black. And I know that my model will stand from there to there. It's quite a big base because I'm doing a lava base for Magnus the Red, so his feet will fit there. And so with that, what I'll now do is I'll dry brush the top stones to bring them back to being stone effects, and I'll use two different types of grey and a bit of brown just to bring some flavour back into here. The next colour I'm going for is a brown, and I've chosen Bane Blade Brown just to add a little bit here and there. This is not going to be as full coverage as the Yeshin Grey. And then finish with the last few highlights of Zandri Dust. So that's the stone dry brushed. I've used 3 colours. You could use more, just keep building it up. It creates some interesting textures, some interesting colours. I like the look of that. What I'll do now is I'm going to do some red glow effects. So the first colour I'm going to use for the base is going to be corn red, and that's going to be the darkest red on the bottom. So I'm going to use some of that dark red as a dry brush around the edges, just around where the lava will be, and that will create a red glow. And then in my red brightness choices, I'm going up 2 levels to Evil Sun's Scarlet, and I'm going to focus on this inner bit here that I've done to dry brush a little bit, not very much, just to highlight, and it should be a bit brighter in here because this is where it's going to be hottest. So for actually painting the lava itself, I'm going to graduate from reds to oranges to yellows and to white, and you go from the darker colours through to oranges and yellows for the heat. So you're going to have hot spots. So only certain areas on this are going to be the hottest colour. Generally in the centre of the stream will be hot, and I probably have a pool there. But if it's close to a rock, then it's likely to be cooler. So I'm going to have a graduation of Corn Red, Mephiston Red, Evil Sun Scarlet, and that's going to be the red tones that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start basing all of it with corn, and then slightly build in a graduation of colour using these three. And then for the hotter areas, I'm going to then bring in Jaquera Orange, Fire Dragon Bright, and Troll Slayer Orange. And they're going to be the three grades of orange, getting to the brightest one again. Then for yellows, I'm going to use Avalon Sunset, Eel Yellow, and Flashgitz Yellow. Now, the purposes of having so many colours, and 9 is quite a lot in this, is to have a smoother transition of the colours. And if you've got the time to do it, then do it this way. If you haven't, just pick a few. So I'd pick corn to start with, definitely Evil Suns, maybe go straight to a bright orange, standard yellow, and then that one. So I suppose minimum take 5. And if you really wanted to, for the very peak hotspots, you could add a white in. So I'll just use white scale for that. Just any white I'll do. All the subsequent colours now, essentially we're going to be graduating the colour from this one up to a point which is the hottest, and that's going to be the brightest yellow and possibly white. And if we look at any sort of lava flow in real life or in other people's bases, you'll get centre of the area being the hottest. So here, it's this bit here, perhaps down the centre line there, certainly around these points here, any big bits there. So anytime there's a big mass of lava, the centre of it will be hottest. And these edges here will probably never get that hot because there's just not enough. So in terms of all the colours, I'll build them up and I'll try and grade them in. But you don't want to just use straight lines because it's swirly, it's fluid, it's moving. So you want to just want to be higgledy-piggledy. So it's using a bit of flair, a bit of jiggly brush movements and stuff like that just to make it look appropriate. If you don't like it, repaint over it, start again. As you can see, the orange is now starting to highlight the areas that I see as the hot bits, not all of which will go all the way to the bright yellow. So these bits around the edge won't go all the way to the bright yellow, but these definitely will. So now the second orange, the Fire Dragon Bright. Flashgitz Yellow is the brightest bit, so you want to use it particularly to highlight the centre of these sections. Now, you may have noticed that it's pretty random what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go, and no one of these that I've ever done is the same. And for me, that base is now done. Now, you may think that's taken a while with 9 different colours. I think it does, it just lays it up slowly. You can use much fewer, you can even just use 3. If you like this tutorial, please like it, let me know, and catch you on the next one. Thanks very much.